Have you ever considered what it really takes to represent your country at the Olympics? Recently, I came across the story of an Olympian who was struggling to find funding because his country had sort of bailed out on him, and he was sourcing for funding creatively. But in that whole story, what got my attention, apart from the fact that he's a passionate guy, what got my attention was the amount of preparation that he had put in. And it was amazing because at that time, he was training for 3 hours daily while working a full-time job. But you know what's crazy? He's not an exception. The average Olympian trains about 2 to 4 hours daily leading up to the Olympics. Now think about this. 2 to 4 hours daily for months on end for a competition that will only last minutes. Years of training, years of preparation for only minutes of competition. This whole thing got me thinking, can you imagine a world where you took this level of dedication and preparation and applied it towards getting to the dreams and the goals that you have? Let's get into it. Welcome to the Many Roads Podcast. I'm your host, Oba Okusanya. And I wanted to take the opportunity in this episode to sort of talk about something that has got the wheels in my head spinning for the last the last 2 weeks now. So much so that I actually wrote a newsletter about it. Shameless plug. If you're not subscribed to our newsletter, you should be subscribed. I'm going to put a link right here. Okay. But yeah, the idea that a lot of us have goals, a lot of us have dreams, but we don't take the necessary steps, the necessary effort of an adequate preparation to get to those goals and to get to those dreams. So I landed in a rabbit hole and I went down the rabbit hole of how Olympians prepare and how they train. And if you don't know what the Olympics is, it's essentially this huge international competition where countries, athletes from different countries, compete for gold, silver, and bronze. And it's the pride and joy of every athlete. It's the top of their, it's part of like the crowning sort of achievement in their careers that they get to this moment where they climb up the podium in either first, second, or third. Of course, everybody wants to get the gold in the first place. And, with their country's flags, with pride and joy, claiming the gold prize for their country. It's such a thing of joy, and it's a lifelong dream. Most people who end up going to the Olympics are not people who just like start in their 20s or in their 30s saying, you know what, I'm just gonna go to the Olympics. No, these are people who from a very young age have been trained all through their early years and teenage years and young adult, just training focused on getting to this event, qualifying for this event, representing their countries at this event, and then winning in their individual sports. It's a lifelong dream that consumes all of your life. And as I dug further into the rabbit hole, I was astonished at the level of preparation that it takes. These people spend years on years preparing, training. They have coaches, they have like so much effort, and not just physical effort, even the mental effort to keep showing up year in, year out, all in anticipation and all so that they get to this end point, which is the Olympics itself. And they compete and they hope to win. One of the GOATs, greatest of all times in terms of swimmers, Michael Phelps, I was looking into his preparation, and they said before like every Olympic event coming up, he would spend about 4 hours daily in the water for about 5 months leading up to the event. That's the level of dedication and preparation that it takes to dominate at that level. If we take a closer look at all of that, first of all, it lets me know one thing. It lets me know that hard work can beat talent. The person that keeps showing up and improves and puts in the effort and prepares adequately will eventually beat the person who is naturally gifted but lazy. Hard work will beat talent. It's just a matter of time. Initially, the person with talent who is lazy might seem ahead, but if you give the person who maybe doesn't have that much talent, who just has dedication and diligence and is committed to preparing and putting in the effort, eventually that person will catch up with the lazy, talented person and will surpass them. And this idea is exciting to me because I feel like it gives everybody the opportunity to be great at something without not necessarily being naturally gifted at it. Because if you just look at life from a standpoint of only the people who have talent can do things, there's some things you never tried to do. But if you start to understand that you can eventually outpace the person that has talent with your hard work, I mean, the sky's the limit. Now doors are open, right? So that's the first thing that sort of stood out to me is the fact that in the world of preparation, talent is an advantage. But if talent is not paired with hard work, the person who's working hard will eventually surpass the talented, lazy person. Now, having the best of both worlds would be having talent and having the dedication and the hard work and combining that. Now, I mean, that's insane. Like this, it's incredible at that point. But not everybody is able to find themselves. Not everybody's lucky enough to find themselves in that kind of position where they're extremely talented at something and they're able to work extremely hard at it at the same time. But this is an opportunity for everybody. If you know that there's something you're trying to do, you can invest in effort, in hard work, in preparation to get yourself to a place where you're competent without necessarily having the natural talent for it, right? So that's the first point. The second thing that sort of jumped out at me as well when it comes to this whole thing is the idea of years of preparation for moments and minutes of competition. I mean, if you think about it, the longest event in terms of individual sports in the Olympics is probably soccer, I think. Maybe I might be wrong, but you play 45 minutes each half if there's extra time. Essentially, you're not, even after it's all said and done, you're not competing for more than 3 hours per match. But if you look at that in contrast, and even if they have to play 10 matches, for instance, 12 matches, that's still about 30 to, let's say, 50 hours entirely for the competition. If you contrast that with the years of preparation that it took to get them to that place where they're able to compete, it's not even equal. It's not equal at all. It's a clear multiple. Like the years of preparation is a clear multiple in terms of the moments of competition. And what does that tell us? It tells us that the hard work up front, which is the preparation, in terms of volume, will always be more. It will always take much more reps and much more iterations and much more repetitions of you preparing and of you doing the things that you need to do to prepare yourself. It'll always take more of that to get you to a place where you actually use it in competing in that opportunity that you're preparing for. And that's mind-blowing, because if you're someone like me who likes to take final results and sort of work back from the final result, in the sense that, for instance, salespeople do this all the time where they go, if I have a 10% conversion rate, meaning that for every one call I make, for every 10 calls I make, I get one sale. If I want to make 10 sales, I just need to call 100 people because I have a 10% conversion rate, right? So essentially they're working back from the end result. If you could work back from, I need to compete in 30 hours of competition, and sort of work back the level of preparation and the amount of preparation, it helps paint a clear picture as to what is required of you. And I say this because a lot of us have goals. Like I said, a lot of us have dreams, but we haven't necessarily taken the time to sit down to ask ourselves, what is it going to take me? And what is it going to cost me to get to this goal, to get to this dream? So I know you might be out there and you have a dream of starting a company that is doing $10 million in ARR, which is annual recurring revenue, right? And It's all well and good. Dreams are free. It's free to dream. It's great. The question I have for you is, have you sort of worked back from that end result and taken your time and said, if I work from that end result all the way back, what is the level of preparation? What is the amount of preparation? What is the amount of effort that's required for me to get to this place? Another example, if there's a specific career that you're trying to go into, for instance, let's say you want to become a radio host, for instance. Have you sat down to ask yourself, okay, this is how, this is typically how radio hosts get to this level that I'm trying to get to? What are the things that I have to do? What are the things that I have to avoid? What are some of the things that I have to look out for? What are some of the things that I have to go search for? What are the relationships that I need to have? These all factor into preparation, because what you don't want, the thing that you don't want is to have an opportunity show up, but your level of preparation isn't adequate for the opportunity. Because if you look at the competition like opportunity, which is what it essentially is, in that moment of competition, which is opportunity, like I said, it's an opportunity if it's a sport where it's two teams going head to head. It's an opportunity for both teams to seize, and they have a chance based on their level of preparation to either be victorious or to lose. It's an opportunity. If you look at life that way as well, there's opportunities in terms of job opportunities. There's opportunities in terms of business opportunities. There's opportunities just like general life opportunities. But sometimes, in most cases, it always goes to the more prepared people. In the newsletter that I wrote, I liken people not preparing to this analogy, essentially, where somebody sends out a wedding invitation to friends and family and colleagues. And, like they mail it to everybody. They send emails. They send it out. Like, yeah, guys, I'm getting married. But they're not in a relationship. It looks good on paper. It looks great on paper. But there's no real substance to it. If you do not prepare, there will come a time where opportunities come by and you're not able to seize them. Opportunities come by and you're not able to take advantage of them. I say all of that to say this. You will have to sort of work your way back. Or I think it's, in my opinion, I think it's wise to work your way back from, this is my end result. This is the level of preparation. These are the things I need to do to get to that end result, and just work your way back there. Because then at least you can be honest with yourself. And I'll be honest with you, it's not every dream you should chase. Okay. I know. Yeah. Did I just say that? Yes, I did. It's not every dream you should chase. You have to tell yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself, the dreams that are worth chasing. Because it's not every price you can pay. Everybody wants $1 billion, but do you know the price? Do you know the cost of $1 billion? And I know I just said, do you know the cost of money? No. Do you know the cost of managing $1 billion company? Is that really something you want? And I'm not saying it's bad or it's good. I'm just saying, is that what you want? Do you know the cost of managing a Fortune 500 company, of being a CEO of a Fortune 500 company? Do you know the cost? Like, these are, it's not just enough to just dream and, oh, I want to do this. Count the cost. Sit down and look at the level of preparation that's involved. People that I am fascinated by doctors because of the level of preparation that it takes to get them to a place where they become full-fledged doctors. It's amazing. But of course, for that level of, and for that important function that they do of working on the human body, you want them to be as prepared as possible, right? So different functions, different levels of preparation. Once again, it's important that you are honest with yourself and tell yourself, is this a price I'm willing to pay? The level of effort and preparation that's required for me to get to this goal, is it something that I want to do? And it's okay to say no. It's also okay to say yes. So you have a business idea you're excited about. But hold on, here's the truth. About 90% of startups fail because they build something nobody wants. What if you could test your idea before you build it? What if you could test your idea before you waste months or thousands of dollars building it? I've put together a free guide called the Reality Check Guide that essentially has 10 validation methods you can use to test any business idea today. In it, you'll find validation methods used by Tesla, Dropbox, Airbnb, and other notable names around the world before they became household names. I've also included AI prompts that you can use to validate or test your ideas using ChatGPT or any other AI platforms. So get access to the free guide. The link is in the description. Download the guide and use it to test your ideas before you go waste money and time. All right, let's get back to the pod. How do you apply this practically? For me personally, a couple of things that I'm doing. First thing is I'm revisiting all my goals. Like I said, not every goal is worth setting. Not every dream is worth chasing. Like not every idea is worth executing. Revisit the goals you have. And for somebody watching this or listening to this, the goal you have, or the goals you have rather, you might have underestimated your capacity and you might need to sort of increase them. You might need to sort of be more ambitious with them. For other people, if I'm being honest with you, you might have to scale them back based on the level of preparation and the level of effort that it will take. The key here is honesty, not with me, not with those around you, with yourself. We have to be honest with ourselves about whether or not we believe we can achieve those goals. The next thing that I'm also doing personally is I'm saying no a lot more to distractions and things that don't get me to the goals that I set. As I prepare, preparation takes time, and time is finite. You only have a specific amount of time every day. You can't afford to be distracted. You can't afford to have your focus split in so many ways. If there's a goal that you have, make sure that things that you're doing daily gets you closer to that goal. And if there are distractions, you're going to have to say no. And it's funny because when we say distractions, we always think distractions are negative things, or are or we always think distractions appear negative, and that's how we identify them as distractions. No, distractions can also appear as sort of positive, sort of not even just events. It could just be a positive thing. It's up to you to filter whatever is going on through the lens of the goals that you have and say, I'm probably not going to do that. I won't have time for this. Recently a friend had invited me out to an event and I've been looking forward to it for weeks. But then the closer I got to the event, stuff started to change up in terms of priorities. And there was an opportunity that presented itself in terms of business, and we had to quickly move. And I had to take a quick look at the things that I had to do. And I had to tell myself, okay, you only have a specific amount of time. You only have a fixed amount of time. You have to be wise about it. You're going to have to turn down this thing, even though you really wanted to do it, because there's these other things that need your attention and get you closer to the goal. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. You will have to say no to things that are not seemingly bad. It's just they're not in line with your goal, at least in this season, right? The next thing I'm doing personally is I am learning by taking bold steps. A lot of us think that we need to learn first before we do. No, it's actually the other way around. You do and you learn from doing. As you prepare, just do the things that you need to do. I know there's a lot of information out there. I know you can get weighed down in opinions and stuff. Take the first step. Write the first draft. Like, send that email, send the message. It's all in preparation, I know, but in preparation, there's still action. Action is required. Learn by doing. Take bold steps. Take bold risks. It will pay off. Another thing is I am reading like my life depends on it. One of the best ways to interface with information and with knowledge on a personal level is to read as much as you can. Because when you read, you're not just getting the information, you're also getting the mindset behind the information. You're getting a whole lot more that goes into your subconscious. And it's important for preparation that you read, regardless of whatever field that you're in. It's important that you find a way to consistently accrue information, to consistently get information about the thing that you're focused on, into your head. And one of the best ways to do that is to read. For some people who don't enjoy reading, you could do audiobooks. Like whatever it is, just find a consistent way to get information about the thing that you are hoping to achieve, looking to do, to get that into your system. You have to do it. And the last thing I'm doing is delegating, outsourcing, up tooling is what I call it as well. You know, things that I know take more time, and honestly, I probably shouldn't be spending as much time doing. In this season, I'm delegating, or I'm finding tools that can help me do them faster. Because every second I buy back, every minute I buy back, every hour I buy back, I'm able to use that to do something that gets me closer to the goal. I'm able to use that to do something that helps me prepare for where I'm headed, right? So those are sort of the high level things that I'm doing in this season, right? This idea of preparation is so key because you see it everywhere. You see it in every aspect of life. You might look at a founder, a business person, an athlete, a successful person, somebody of renown. You might look at them today and think they're an overnight success. But what you don't see is the years of preparation behind the scenes. You might look at an actor who has a breakout role today and be like, whoa, where has this guy been? And then you find out that for 20 years he was he was doing a bunch of low-class movies and nobody found out about him. Or you might look at a dancer, somebody today, and be like, wow, where's this lady been? Not knowing that she's been doing Broadway shows for 15 years and just finally got that breakthrough moment. Those years were years of preparation. For people in business, you might look at them and be like, wow, this guy just came from nowhere and started $1 million company. No, he's been failing in the secret preparing. That wasn't his first idea. It's very rare that you find somebody whose first idea is the thing that blows up. It's very rare that you find somebody whose first attempt at something is the thing that makes them really successful. No, they are being developed and they prepare through failure in most cases, through trials and errors in most cases, before they get to that place where people are now recognizing them for their success. So I want to leave you with this. I want you to ask yourself, what's one area of my life that I need to prepare a little bit better for? What's one goal that I have? What's one dream that I have? A goal that I've set? What's one thing that you need to put a little bit more effort into? So here's the truth. It's not enough to just set goals. Like I said, goal setting without preparations is like sending out a wedding invitation to friends and family and colleagues, but not even being in a relationship. It looks great on paper, but there's no substance to it. Olympians spend years and years and years preparing for minutes and moments of competition. And in the end, those years of preparation make them worthy of the results of climbing on that podium, claiming the gold medal. Your dreams are no different. Your desired future, your desired goals are no different. It will take some level of preparation. So I want you to ask yourself, what would it look like if you took your dreams and your goals seriously? What would it look like if you decided to prepare like your goals and dreams depend on your effort? What habits will you start? What habits will you stop? What sacrifices would you make? What steps would you take? Because the reality is this: when preparation meets opportunity, it's a birthing ground for success. So that's all I have for you today. I hope this gets you thinking, but most importantly, I hope this gets you to take some action this week. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think about the episode. Let me know what you think about all that I've spoken about. And please like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. A lot of you watch the videos but are not subscribed to the channel. We would love for you to subscribe. We are eagerly trying to get to 100 subscriber milestone by the end of this year, and I know we can do it. So I would love for you to please subscribe to the channel. It's your free way, it's your no cost way of supporting all that we do here. All right, till next time, God bless.